Hi friends, today we will be dealing with current affairs of 22nd October. First, New START Treaty. Why news? President Vladimir Putin on Friday proposed a one-year extension without conditions on the last major nuclear arms reduction accord between Russia and the US. Right, we'll discuss New START Treaty. The new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, that is New START Pact, limits the number of deployed nuclear warheads, missiles, and bombers, and is due to expire on 2021 unless is renewed. Right. So, as the treaty will be expiring on 2021 unless if it is renewed. Right. So the treaty limits the US and the Russia to a maximum of 1,550 deployed nuclear warheads and 700 deployed missiles and bombers, well below Cold War caps. It was signed in 2010 by former US President Barack Obama and the then Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. It is one of the key controls on the superpower deployment of nuclear weapons. Right. So they are the nuclear powers and the superpowers. Right. Then February, US withdrew from the 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty according to Moscow of violation agreement. Right. So accusing the Moscow that of violation the agreement. So Moscow, that means Russia have violated the agreement, so that the US withdraw from this treaty. Okay, INF treaty. So first state formally rejected Centre's 3 farm legislation. So we will discuss what happened. Say Punjab formally rejected the Centre government's 3 agriculture sector legislations, with its legislative assembly that Tuesday unanimously passed 3 bills to negate union laws. So we will discuss what it is. See, Punjab State Bills. The Punjab Assembly introduced the 3 farm bills. Just we have a look on it. The first one. See, in first one, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce. That means promotion, facilitation, special provision, and Punjab those Amendment Bill 2020. It seeks to ensure that sale or purchase of wheat and paddy in Punjab is not allowed below minimum support price. Right. So that means wheat and paddy should not be allowed to purchase below minimum per support price. Right. And it also seeks to provide for punishment for harassment of farmers or payment of less price to the farmers. Okay. So first one. And second, the farmers, this is the second one, and the farmers empowerment and protection agreement on price assurance and farm service. Right, the service bill 2020. So it provides for imprisonment for not less than 3 years and fines for sales purchase of wheat or paddy under a farming agreement below the MSP. If someone is procuring paddy or wheat below MSP, minimum support price, ആരെങ്കിലും minimum support price താഴെ വാങ്ങുകയാണെങ്കിൽ the person will be imprisoned. അതായത് ജയിലിൽ അടയ്ക്കാനോ ഫൈൻ അടയ്ക്കാനോ 3 വർഷം ജയിലിൽ അടയ്ക്കാനോ ഫൈൻ പിടിക്കാനോ ഉള്ള അവകാശം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അധികാരം പെടുത്തുന്ന ബില്ലാണ്. റൈറ്റ്. തേർഡ് വൺ, the Essential Commodities Bill 2020. The Essential Commodities Bill 2020. It prevents hoarding and black marketing. പൂത്തിവെപ്പും ബ്ലാക്ക് മാർക്കറ്റിംഗിനെയും പ്രിവെന്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ബില്ലാണ് ഓഫ് അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ആൻഡ് സീക്സ് ടു എൻഷുർ സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് quo ante with regard to implementation of the Central Act, namely the Essential Commodities Act 2020. Right. So these are all the 3 bills. Then what are the constitutional issues with? We will discuss constitutional issues. Discuss here. That the state have no authority to overrule the legislation passed by the central except under Article 254 clause 2, right? Under 254 clause 2, state have authority provided it gets president's assent, right? പ്രസിഡന്റിന്റെ അസെന്റ് കിട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, പ്രസിഡന്റിന്റെ അസെന്റ് കിട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ മാത്രം അണ്ടർ ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 250 clause 2 it enables the state government to pass a law on any subject in the concurrent list that may contradict central law. Okay, so state can pass a law, state in a law pass ചെയ്യാം in the concurrent list if it gets president's assent. That is it. Okay, however, the parliament is not barred from enacting any law with respect to the same matter. So parliament can enact any law about this matter, right? Including the law adding to, amending, varying or repealing the law made by the legislative of the state. പാർലമെന്റിന് ഈ പറയുന്ന സബ്ജക്ട് മാറ്ററിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ലോ പാസ്സാക്കാനായിട്ട് അവകാശം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അധികാരം ഉണ്ട്, റൈറ്റ്? സോ ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 257 clause 1 also states that the executive power of every state shall be so exercised as not to impede or prejudice the exercise of the executive powers of the state. അതായത് സ്റ്റേറ്റിന്റെ അധികാരങ്ങൾ ഒരിക്കലും സെൻട്രലിന്റെ അധികാരങ്ങളിൽ കൈകടത്താനോ അതിൽ തടസ്സം നിൽക്കാനോ പാടില്ല എന്നാണ് ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 257 clause 1 പറയുന്നത്. Okay, if you do so, if the states do so, it imposes precedent rule in case when it imposes precedent rule in case when the state is exercising its executive power prejudicial to center's executive power, right? So this is about. Then Nazca lines. You might have seen this big cats for big in social medias. Okay, വലിയ ഒരു പൂച്ചയുടെ പടം സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയാസിലേക്ക് വൈറലായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു പിക്കാണ്. സോ ദർ ഇസ് എ വൈറൽ പിക്ക് ഓഫ് ബിഗ് ക്യാറ്റ് ഇൻ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയാസ്. സോ വി ആർ ടോക്കിംഗ് അബൌട്ട് ദിസ്. സോ it was in Nazca lines in Peru. So UNESCO's World Heritage Site, known for its depiction of larger than life animals, plants and imaginary beings. Giant cat drawing at a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Peru. So it is called geoglyphs. What are geoglyphs? They are large designs made on the grounds by creators using elements of the landscape such as stones, gravel, dirt or lumber, right? So geoglyphs are large designs made on the ground by creators, right? Then the cat geoglyph. See, it is a cultural linkage. It dates from 500 BC or 200 AD. That means Paracas age. The cat geoglyph is believed to be older than ones previously found in Nazca, right? It drawn more than 2 millennia ago on the surface of southern Peru's arid Pampa, Colorado. The figure is nearly 37 meters long when seen horizontally and dates from late Paracas era. Restoration work carried out this month shows the feline figure in profile with its head in front with line marking it, varying with width 30 and 40 centimeter, right? Its line is nearly 30 to 40 centimeter, right? Next is Anemia Mukh Bharat Index. See, Haryana is in the topmost position with Anemia Mukh Bharat Index. With this index has 46.7. See, what is 666 or 6 approach? See, Anemia Mukh Bharat strategy is focused on benefiting 6 target beneficiary groups through 6 interventions and 6 institutional mechanisms to achieve the envisaged target of anemia reduction under the Poshan Abhiyan. Right. Provisions of supervised iron folic acid supplementation by the ASHA for all under 5 children. ഓക്കെ, രണ്ടാഴ്ച കൂടുമ്പോൾ അയൺ ഫോളിക് ആസിഡ് കൊടുക്കുക, സപ്ലിമെൻറ്റേഷൻ ബൈ ആശ പ്രൊവൈഡേഴ്സ്, ആൻഡ് വീക്ക്ലി അയൺ ഫോളിക് ആസിഡ് സപ്ലിമെൻറ്റേഷൻ ഫോർ 5 to 10 years ഓൾഡ് ചിൽഡ്രൻ. 5 മുതൽ 10 വരെ ഉള്ളവർക്ക് അയൺ ഫോളിക് ആസിഡ് സപ്ലിമെൻറ്റേഷൻ കൊടുക്കുക. ആനുവൽ ഓർ ബൈ ആനുവൽ ഡിവോമിങ് ചിൽഡ്രൻ ആൻഡ് അഡോളസെന്റ്. ആനുവൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 2 വർഷം കൂടുമ്പോൾ ഡിവോമിങ്, ആൻറ്റിവോമിങ് ഗുളികകൾ കൊടുക്കുക. ആൻറ്റിവോമിങ് പോയിന്റ് ഓഫ് കെയർ ടെസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആൻഡ് ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റ് ഫോർ in school, adolescent and pregnant women using newer technologies, establishing institutional mechanisms for advanced research in anemia, addressing non-nutritional causes of anemia, and setting a comprehensive communication strategy including mass or mid-media, social media, communication material, that means radio, TV, poster, job aids, interpersonal communication material, etc. Next is Science Festival 2020. The 6th edition of the Indian International Science Festival IISF will be held virtually, right? So because of COVID pandemic, the event this year will be held from December 22 to December 25. Okay, then a few words about India International Science Festival. See, it is the largest science festival in the world. Okay, first of all, it is the largest science festival in the world. It is an annual festival to celebrate the achievements of India's scientific and technological advancement with students, innovators, craftsmen, farmers, scientists, and technocrats from India and abroad. It was started from the year 2015. It is organized by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and Vijnana Bharati, VIBHA. Right. So it was organized by Ministry of Sciences, Ministry of Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and Vijnana Bharati, VIBHA. So some words about VIBHA. See, Swadeshi Science Movement was started in India, in Indian Institute of Bangalore. Some scientists and with the guidance of Professor K.I. Vasu. See, actually, it emerged as an organization with a national presence. In 1991, it was decided to launch Swadeshi Science Movement in a all India level, and it was named as Vijnana Bharati. Right. So it is the objective of this is to motivate young scientists towards greater creativity and originality, and headquarters is ന്യൂഡൽഹി. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ വിജ്ഞാന ഭാരത് തുടങ്ങുന്നത് ഒരു സ്വദേശി സയൻസ് മൂവ്മെന്റ് ആണ്. കുറച്ച് സയന്റിസ്റ്റും പ്രൊഫസർ K.I. വാസുവും ചേർന്നിട്ട് അത് ഒരു നാഷണൽ പ്രൊമിനൻസിലേക്ക് വന്നു. 1991 ആയപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് അത് ഇന്ത്യൻ ലെവലിലേക്ക് വന്നു. അതിന് വിജ്ഞാന ഭാരതി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പേരും കൊടുത്തു. ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് യങ് സയന്റിസ്റ്റിനെ മോട്ടീവ് ചെയ്യുക ടുവേർഡ്സ് ഗ്രേറ്റർ ക്രിയേറ്റിവിറ്റി ആൻഡ് ഒറിജിനാലിറ്റി. ഹെഡ്ക്വാർട്ടേഴ്സ് ന്യൂഡൽഹി. Then antitrust lawsuit against Google. So while there's a lawsuit against Google, US Department of Justice has launched an antitrust suit against Google for unlawfully maintaining a monopoly in general search services and search advertising. Right. So why Google is doing this? How Google is doing this? That's important. See, they unlawfully uses some financial power. How? They are paying to mobile phone manufacturers and carriers and browsers to maintain Google as their preset default search engine, right? And thereby creating a self-reinforcing cycle of dominance, right? When you are launching or when you are buying a mobile phone, already Google will be there as a preset default search engine, right? So it is done by Google by paying or by bribing this mobile phone manufacturers. So this antitrust lawsuit or US Department of Justice has filed an antitrust suit against Google for this, right? So why? It is against competition, right? It is against competition. That's why it was launched against Google. In 2019, the Competition Commission of India also had held Google guilty of misuse of its dominant position in the mobile Android market and said the company had imposed unfair conditions on device manufacturers to prevent them from using other operating systems. Okay, so it said that unfair conditions were done by Google, so it prevents other manufacturers or other operating systems to use in Google, right? In that operating systems. That's India also. Some India had also had some legal issues with Google, right? So this was the issue. So thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.